Okay. Alligators, New Orleans, a mega flood. What possibly could go right here? Folks, let's get into the review of the new film, The Flood. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film, The Flood, which is coming to theaters on demand and digital July 14th. So this film stars Casper Van Dien, my guy, plays the character Russell Cody, Nicky Whelan, she plays Sheriff Joe Newman, Louis Mandylor, that's my guy right there, who plays the character Rafi, along with some other folks, Randy Wayne, who plays the character Dale, Ryan Francis plays Jay Stamper, and the list goes on here. But it is about the story of, well, big massive flood after a hurricane floods New Orleans. How about that? This is like the second coming of Katrina, just by context and by also by dialogue within the film. So that's the severity of things here. And then first thing I thought was like, poor New Orleans, they just never can catch a break. But with that unleashes a horde of giant, hungry alligators. Let's start right there. These alligators are not just giant, hungry alligators, but they're super CGI alligators in all of the scenes. And because, yes, I know they have to be CGI, but I don't think the film even tried to make them look practical. Like, that's my first thing, is that the practical stuff was the practical stuff, but once the alligators were involved in the scene, it was a hard meshing of the two, completely noticeable. And it's an element, they had no choice but to work with, because that's sort of like the antagonist of the film is the alligators. They're hungry and they are going to eat, and that's with that being the threat, they got to work with the can. But yeah, truly, when the alligators, these super giant alligators, are on scene, it's the CGI. It's super noticeable, and it doesn't really blend or mesh really good with the practical stuff. And another thing, because I keep like stuttering on the fact of calling them an alligator, but that's okay, because the film gives you and also helped me as well too, a lesson on the difference between what's a gator and what's an alligator. So yes, thank you, film, because I've always wondered. I don't know why I've never researched, but it's okay. This film did give you a quick lesson of the difference between the two. But yeah, you do have cops and bad guys, and because of this major storm, they can't transport these people to their detention center. So with that being said, it's a game of survival. One, survival of the storm, but two, of the threat of these giant alligators in the water beneath them. And with that, you do have these inmates, some good, some bad, and folks are truly going to be in their element of survival by any means necessary. And then you will have some other folks who will try to work together to escape or survive the storm, to wait out the storm. And everyone's looking at hard time. That's the biggest thing. So like, you put that into perspective, is that some of these folks realize that, like, listen, I ain't going back to jail. This is my one, maybe only opportunity, and they're going to take their chances. And that means by any means that whoever's in their way could fall victim to that. And then there's other folks that figured like there may be a more of a, ethical way of doing that without anybody getting hurt. So you're having a bunch of different characters, a bunch of different pockets of little egos and mentalities within this. And it just makes for a lot of different things kind of going on there. And then you got somebody that's also considered a cop killer. So with that being the theme of if that's true or not, that's Russell, Casper's character. We determine if he's labeled as a cop killer, but is it true? And with that, yes, this film, which I think is the highlight of this film, is the dialogue. I thought the trash talking within the script was really, really good. And there was definitely moments of humor, but I was really digging the trash talking. Like it was definitely there. And I think that you know, that there's obviously moments of portrayal, so there's definitely some should I say twists and turns within the film. Something a little bit predictable, but some that kind of was like, oh, whoop, didn't see that coming, you know. There's some minor action. There's some minor bullets flying and whatnot. But it's truly about the alligators and their belly rolls. Like they're getting people and then they're rolling around and folks are dying, you know. And that's just kind of what it is. And with that, because of CGI, there's obviously a lot of implied, you know, violence, should I say. I was going to say brutality, but violence. There's definitely a lot of implied violence because of that, you know, and obviously if there's one other thing that runs up the budget, it's blood. So like, it's certainly a very indie movie, but I actually enjoyed it. And if you kind of wonder beyond the survival, if there is a plan of escape, and that's getting to some jet skis. So like with that, there's also some consideration of, well, how many of us can go? And some folks are like, if I don't care who's going, I'm going, you know. So you have a bunch of those little aspects to it as well too. But yeah, you know, I for a very indie film, this film, I definitely enjoyed it. It had its flaws, but I think overall it was enjoyable. I definitely enjoyed Nicky. I enjoyed Casper, Lewis, Mandylor. I mean, the cast is definitely names that I enjoy. Some of the names who've been working really hard on some of these lower budget films. But you know, if you want to consider it, this is an all-star cast of actors who've been working within this playground of films that really has been putting in the work during the pandemic as well too. But this is sort of an all-star cast of these folks that's been working, putting out tons of film, tons of straight to digital films, but nonetheless good actors. And I think, yeah, you'll recognize the hard work in that. Regardless of what the production looks like, you recognize the hard work within the actors. So, but yet The Flood, you have a couple of options of watching it, as I mentioned, on demand, digital, and in theaters. My suggestion would be stay at home and watch this one. I don't think it warrants a theatrical going out and buying tickets. I don't think it really warrants that theatrical price. I think definitely at home, in the comfort of home, is a very safe and enjoyable way to watch this film, because the CGI alligators, I don't know how they would look on the big screen as much as I struggle watching it on my television screen. Kind of like, yikes. Could it have been just a little better? Just a little better. I don't know. But yeah, check out The Flood, folks. Jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about it. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon. Thank you for watching.
Alligators.